Looking for easy Halloween crafts? These quick projects have many options to allow for personalization, whether you're looking for cute, spooky, or goofy. I'm Marcy McDonald with Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. And today I have some really fun crafts that you can do with the kiddos or you can do just for fun. It's spooky season, and I have some fun crafts that you can do with kids or just for yourself for fun. Halloween is my favorite time of year, and so I have some crafts that I developed years ago that I want to share with you. These spiders were actually where I started. So years ago, I wanted some inexpensive and easy crafts. And these are pretty straightforward. This little spider, it's just made with pom-poms and pipe cleaners. And then you have lots of options for how you hang it and how you do the eyes. So I accidentally ordered a whole lot of pom-poms. And the great thing about those packages of pom-poms is I have several sizes. I have these really big poofs down to really teeny ones. So I could do really teeny spiders if I wanted to. I have these ones with like glittery stuff, so I could do like hairy spiders if I wanted to. Pom-poms are readily available at craft stores. You could order them online. They're easy to work with and they're easy for kids to work with. Pipe cleaners, these are available at craft stores. You just need a couple of those. It is helpful to have wire cutters for cutting your pipe cleaners. You can get by with scissors, but my scissors aren't really strong enough and I use them for lots of things and I don't want to damage them. For the eyes, I used, for this one, because I wanted a spookier version, I used this very fancy set of rhinestones and they come in different sizes. So I actually spent a fair amount of time online studying spider eyes. Now, if you're not squeamish about spiders, I happen to think spiders are pretty awesome. Spiders generally have 6 to 8 eyes depending on their species. So I went with 6 because there's not a lot of room and they're in different configurations. So you can have fun with that if you want to look up about spiders. It's pretty fascinating. We have option of rhinestones, Google eyes. You can use black beads if you have them. I don't actually have any of those. You could also use rhinestones, or you could glue glitter on. Use your imagination. Use beads, use buttons, use what you have at hand. You gotta pick your pom-poms so you can decide what sizes you want. I'm doing a relatively large spider because the size of my rhinestones I have available and the size of my pipe cleaners. The fluorescent wire, if I wanna go with smaller legs, and you can paint them. But I'm just going to use pipe cleaners. You don't have to hang your spiders if you don't want to, because these pipe cleaners are very posable and they'll actually stand okay. So you don't have to do this, but if you want to, and I think it's pretty cool to hang these, you can use black thread, which kind of disappears depending on your background. White thread, which also disappears in the background, or how about fishing line? Once you have all your materials together, you have to decide how you're going to fasten your things together. For this one, I used hot glue. And the advantage of using hot glue is it's done more quickly. The disadvantage is you have to be near an outlet or use an extension cord, and it leaves little strings all over the place. I went through my craft stuff and I found a lot of different kinds of glue. I have this gem tack glue, tacky glue. Bought this for actually using with gemstones. Or you could just good old fashioned school glue. White glue works as long as it dries clear. Also got this fancy glue that came with my gemstones. The first thing you gotta do is fasten your 2 pom-poms together. I think I'm gonna use the hot glue just because it takes a long time for the regular glue to dry. So I'm just gonna squirt a generous dollop of glue and then smush my pom-poms together. And while that's cooling and drying, let's figure out our pipe cleaners. Spiders have 8 legs, and the easiest way to do this is just to cut them in half. I actually did a little bit longer for the back legs when I was working this up. And then with the shorter legs, I kept out a little bit to put little spider fangs. That's completely optional. So I think just for ease of process, I'm going to just cut these in half. Bend them in half. And then snip. So then you kind of want to find where the middle is, and you want to kind of flatten it out a little bit. So that will be the part we fasten to the spider body. Okay. So this kind of fit over the joint there. So we're going to just kind of peel the fur back a little bit. I'm going to squirt in glue. And so I'm positioning them towards the front. So it'll be the front legs. Squirt in some more glue. You try not to stick your thumb in it, because then you end up with these little streamers. And it's hot, so that doesn't feel really good. So now I have all my legs on there. Let it cool for a few minutes. Okay, once it cools a little bit, you can bend your legs out a little bit so they'll kind of stand. It's really flexible because you have a soft squishy thing with the pom-poms. And for this one, I'm gonna use black thread to demonstrate. So I'm just gonna cut a good long piece of that. So before I attach the thread to the spider, I'm going to make a slip knot. These crafts use a lot of slip knots. You can't really see how to make them very well when I use a black thread on a black background. Here's a demonstration using yarn. So the end that you hang it. I'm also going to put a slip knot on the other end because that's how I'm going to attach it to the spider. So I'm going to make this big so I can slip it around my spider. You don't have to do it this way. You can also just glue it. But this will make it nice and secure. So pull it around the front legs. And then pull it nice and tight. I'm gonna trim off this extra because we don't need that bit anymore. And then I'm going to make sure it's all secure by putting a little bit more glue in the seam here. And then I'm gonna push some of the fluff into it to help hide the place where the legs are attached. Making sure that your string is out of the way. Do a little bit more over here because it's a little bit messy. Let that cool for a smidge. By using black pipe cleaners with black poof balls or pom-poms, it helps hide the seam, because if you're hanging them, these are going to be just kind of hanging around as your decor. You're not really going to see them. And now we decide what kind of eyes we want. Are we going to go with the giant? And I think these are bigger than I want, so I don't think I'm going to use those, and I don't want to mess with glitter. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with my rhinestones. This set came with these nice little tweezers and with the glue. So let's see what the black ones look like. So these don't really show up. I think I'm gonna go with the red again for this. So I have my little rhinestones all set out. Ooh, I have even teenier ones. There we go. Finally. Put these back. Now I found what I'm looking for. I'm gonna glue them onto the spider's face. So this tube that came with it is really nice because it's a very fine opening, and it comes with a lid that's got a little wire so it doesn't clog. So I pick up my gem, squeeze out just a teeny bit of glue, coat the back, and then stick it on my spider's face. So I got the first two little spider eyes in place. All right, so I got my little crooked, so it looks like I was looking aside, but it's kind of cute, like the jumping spiders. So there we go. We have a little spider. You can clean up a little bit with scissors to any glue debris. If you choose to use the clear glue, that's really nice because it's water soluble, so you can take it off and redo it. So there you have it. We're gonna make ghosts now. This is the low-tech, cheap ghost. I made it with facial tissues and cotton balls. When I originally designed this craft, I used leftovers from a costume that I made. So you can make it with shimmery fabric. You can make it with cheesecloth. You can do just white fabric. Just use what you have at hand, what you want to use. Fabric is more durable, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. And so this is a good way of having fun with the kids. I think I'm gonna make this one with the shimmery fabric. It's a bit wrinkly, but since it's a ghost, that'll probably just be just fine. So I'm going to cut a square. So I have something that's roughly a square, and then we grab it in the middle and bunch it up. That looks like it's gonna work pretty well. It's gonna be a small one, but that's okay. I should have probably cut a bigger piece, but this works. I'm gonna use white thread for this particular craft, so it kind of disappears into it. So probably not the black, or the fishing line works really well because, you know, thin, but this is a little thicker than I think I want to work with. So I'm going to just pull off a piece, however long you like. So I'm going to tie a slip knot, but there's the knot. This will be our hanging loop. And then we want to tie another one for making the ghost head. There we go. So we'll make our bunch up to make our head. And then you just simply put your loop around and pull it tight. Then you can kind of fluff up the head however you like. Kind of flatten it on one side so we can add the face. Once you have it the way you like it, you're gonna put a drop of glue on here so it doesn't slide around. You can use whatever kind of glue you like. I'm using the clear glue because this is what I have. But any kind of glue will do for this. We have choices for how we want to do the face. On my demonstration, I use construction paper because this is a tissue, it's absorbent. You can use black paint, you can use markers. If you choose to use the tissue, those will soak in and they'll bleed out. I've done it before with permanent markers on this fabric and it worked just fine. We have the Google Eye collection. So I could put a couple of Google eyes on there. I don't think I want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is take a couple of the rhinestones and glue them on there. Let me grab the biggest ones. So there's a bit of fraying, but that's actually okay because ghost. And I think I am going to trim off that and maybe tuck the end into the glue. I'm not sure you're supposed to apply it directly to the gem. I think you're supposed to put it when it's where it goes. Maybe I'll try it. This is all brand new. I didn't have very many, well, to be perfectly frank, I couldn't find the rhinestones I had, so I ordered some more and I got the fancy box so I can bedazzle it anything I want to now. So we got a face and I think I want to put a mouth. So let's see what happens if I use the marker. Okay, not as good as I would hope. So I think maybe what I will do, since I don't really like the way the marker came out, I mean, it's fine, but I can just take a little bit of construction paper. Just made a little ghost mouth out of that. Fluff this out a little bit. So I wanted the transparency. With the tissues, you can't see the cotton balls, so it doesn't really matter. There we go, that's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. There you go, a little ghost made out of fabric. You can trim up the edges if you want it to hang down in tatters, or just go with it as it is. So I got done recording and then I realized I completely skipped using the facial tissue and cotton balls to show you how to make a ghost. So let's be about it. So these are in a good size, and depending on your cotton ball size, these are fairly small. You can do either 1 or 2. I did 2 with this, but it depends on how big you want your head. Let's see what it looks like with just 1. Yeah, let's try it. So again, I'm going to use the white because I think it looks better with the ghost because it disappears into it. So again, start with the hanging part, and then we'll make a second slip knot. You tuck your cotton ball in the center, and you gather up the edges and smooth it out. Slip that over and then draw it in to make your neck, and then kind of fluff out. I'm going to rotate that around, see where I want my front to be. So snug it up a bit, but not too tight. You don't want to tear through the paper. Get your drop of glue to lock it into place. Give off the extra. So there you have your basic ghost. So now we just add its face. There's no right way or wrong way to the mouth. You just make it however it fits. I just cut that off there. I was going to do like kind of an oval-y kind of thing, but I think that looks pretty good, so I'm going to keep that. So now we just do a couple of round or kind of oval eyes. Actually, you know what? I think I might do Google eyes on this one. That would be cool. So what size? Let's go with pretty small because this is a small ghosty. See which looks better. Got this or that. I think I like the oversized because ghost. Really big? Nope, that's too big. Picking the right size Google eyes for the job. Okay, I think I like those. So we picked the Google eyes that we want for this. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this paper. And a bead of glue where the eyes are going to be. Okay, so we got eyes, and now let's put the mouth on. Okay, work with me here. And then we'll plunk that on the table apparently. Kind of make it crooked because I'm going for cute. There we have a ghost made with a facial tissue and a cotton ball. Yeah, I also have this fabric stuff that I thought I'd give a try. This is actually the bag that some slippers that Scott bought came in, and it's just going to go in the trash, so I'm salvaging this, and I think it'll make a fine ghost. So I'm just going to cut it into a square. This will be a bigger one. I'm going to cut off this hem. Let's see what this looks like. Get the glitter mess. That bat glitter got everywhere. It's having some technical difficulties and gravity decided to assert itself, so I spilled my glitter a couple of times. Use my other cotton ball, because I have it. It gives us a nice space. It's a little easier than when I was trying to do that one. Just trying to bunch it up. Yeah, alright, so let's get our thread. Okay, there we got our thread for the head. Slide it around. Pull it tight. I think I will make this side the face. So put my glue. And this one I'm going to try the markers on because it's more of a fabric rather than the facial tissues that soak up the ink, or that, which I tried that and that didn't look that great. That will do nicely. And there you have it. That one kind of stands up. So what you can to fancify these things, because this is kind of shimmery, so this one doesn't really need anything, but you can make those fancy by putting a little bit of glue on it and using glitter. I have this iridescent glitter. There's lots of ways you can customize these ghosts. You know, I did different kinds of faces. We have our Google eyes. This is the gemstones in the our construction paper. We got just plain construction paper, and then we got markers. So you can do all kinds of fun things with this based on what you have. For our final craft, we're going to make bats. Now this one requires a little bit more artistic talent, or you could probably find templates online. I did a quick look just to see what bat wings might look like. There's a lot of line drawings and such, so you can print off something and use that as a template. I just kind of drew something out with just a pencil and an eraser. And you can't really see the pencil lines now because I covered them over with glitter. So you need a pom-pom, whatever size you like. And then from the earlier one, since I worked it out, I traced it. So you want a little bit of a tab so you have something to hold on to when you have the glue on it. And also that will give you a space to kind of tuck it into the pom-pom to attach it to your bat. And then you'll need a line where the bones would be. Okay, so I drew my lines on there and I'm gonna cut this out. So you just cut it out and then we'll trace this so the other one matches. For this, I'm just using some scrap construction paper. And now let's match it. Let's see how best to use the construction paper. Yeah, and then just trace it. I mean, these are just fun little decorations, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want them to be, you know, pretty matched, so they don't, like, obviously one is really huge and one is small or something. Okay, now we cut that one out. Okay, now I just need to draw the lines. Not actually all that artistic, but I can draw the lines fairly well. I actually would suggest that you grab a template. Mine's good enough for what I want. As an alternative to using construction paper, you could also use felt or black fabric. I just decided to use the construction paper because it was easy to work with and it's easy to put glitter on, which I thought would be kind of cool to cover up the pencil lines. And it looks festive with all its sparkle. Okay, let's put our glitter on here. I would suggest glitter pens if you have them. This is the old-fashioned put glue on, sprinkle glitter on, shake off the excess. And you can skip this entirely if you want. You could use a line of like puffy paint, or you could use a color pencil or a marker pen to cover up the lines or to draw the lines so you have a nice dark line. The idea is to make it look like bat wings. Bat wings need definition to show where the bones are, but I'm gonna do the glue approach. One way I find that it makes it a little bit easier is to use a toothpick, some glue on a piece of scrap paper. You draw on the lines with the glue. Because it's glitter, there's rough edges and such. This is not something that's a perfectionist project. This is supposed to be fun. And there's a lot of latitude because you can mess up quite a lot and it still looks really awesome. Again, this is an area where clear glue, white glue, any kind of glue that doesn't set up immediately works just fine. The tricky part is to get the outside edges, because we want to outline the wings. This is where that little tab helps. Gives you a way to hang on to it when you're getting this edge. Then you sprinkle your glitter on there. And be generous because you just can knock off the extra. And there you have a nice sparkly wing. Okay, now let's do the other wing. Same thing, just rub the glue onto the lines and the edges. This one might not be as easy to do with little ones unless you do the lines. Probably be fine with older kids. So we have the wings. On this one, I made these goofy little fangs. I think I'll do that again. Just cut off a little wedge of paper. Let's glue on our wings. Kind of going down into the fluff a little bit. The lip with glue. So it'd be better if you let it dry first, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Then I'm just gonna pinch the fur over it. Then look for the opposite side and do the same thing. Oh no! Oops. Okay. Alright, so don't do it this way. Re-glitter the wing since I messed it up. It's a very forgiving craft. Except for the relentless glitter. So we got our wings, and now let's decide what we're gonna do for eyes. So I think it's really adorable with the big Google eyes. So we got great big Google eyes, we've got little Google eyes. This is the size I went with before. I think I'll do the same. So I'm not entirely sure. These seem kind of like they might have a peel off back, but I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna glue them on. We can get fancy and use our tweezers. And I'll do the same with the little fangs. And the final bit is the hanger. I use black thread on this one, and I think I'm going to do the same with this. So just pull off a strand as long as you think you want it to be. We're going to do a slip knot. This will be the top. And the bottom, we're not going to do the loop like we did with the spider or the ghost. So we're just going to kind of make kind of a snarly mess just to give it something to hang on to. Really should have let that dry. And I'll have to fix that wing. So what you want to do is kind of peel back the fur a little bit and do your dollop of glue, and then take your kind of wad, tuck it in there, and then kind of pinch the fur over it. So then you got your hanger. There we got a glittery bat with googly eyes. So just let that dry, and then you can hang it. It doesn't take long. This one I made just a little bit earlier today. So there you go. I hope you give these fun and easy crafts a try. They don't take that long, although I do suggest letting the glue dry between stages instead of rushing like I did to meet my recording schedule. And they are adorable. Have a happy and safe Halloween, whatever that looks like for you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.